we go, I will going to discuss to you the historical foundations of volleyball. The game of volleyball originally came as the term of mintonette. It was designed by William G. Morgan during 1895. It was been the invention of basketball that only 4 years ahead. So he was graduated at the Springfield College of YMCA. So this game has been decided to have inclusion of the basketball, baseball, tennis, and handball games. So the first volleyball net at that time has been borrowed in table tennis, which was only 6.6 inches. That was only thought. You need to remember that the average American height was shorter in 19th century. So the offensive style of play was originally introduced in the Philippines. So this offensive act has been conjugated with the set and spike. So it was been the term of bombita. So a term of a bomb. Game scored tally at that time is 21, and during this time it was been reduced into 15. And during 1930, the first two-man beach game was played. And in 1937, the AAU convention in Boston, action was taken to recognize the U.S. Volleyball Association as the official national governing body in the United States. Since United States at that time is the original country who invented this game. And of course, during 1949, the initial World Championship was held at Prague, Czechoslovakia, if I'm not mistaken. So in 1964, luckily that the Olympic Sports Committee granted the inclusion of the volleyball game. And of course, in 1965, the Californian Beach Volleyball Association was formed. And during the past years, there have been a lot of developments that has been happening. It is in the form of intervention, the facilities and equipments, and at the same time of the rules and regulations of the said sport. But at the years later, when it was been come out in 1995, so the sport of volleyball was in 100 years. It was been a celebration that the sport was been continually developed and used in the humanitarian sphere. So in 1996, two-sport beach volleyball game became an Olympic sport. I forgot to mention that in 1947, it was been the association that has been integrated the various nations that has been commonly used the sport volleyball. So the term of the association at the time is the Federation Internationale de Volleyball, or the FIVB, was founded at that time. So during that time, only the accompanied countries will use this sport, and until today it was been evident that the sport has been continually been used, and of course it was been a form of recreational activities of the humanitarian today. The beacon for serve is the most used signal by the first referee. This signal is used to start each rally. This signal has the same similarities from the previous one, but the main differences here is this will be determined only for a certain team. When a sub-player enters the substitution zone, this constitutes the formal request for substitution. The whistle is blown, usually by the second referee, to recognize the request. When the ball lands inside the court within the boundary lines, this ball is indicated as ball in, signaled by extending the arm with hand open towards the court. When the ball goes out of bounds without being touched by the defender, or the ball hits the antenna or crosses the net outside the antenna, you signal by raising both arms while keeping the upper arms parallel the floor. The forearms are perpendicular to the floor with elbows kept at a 90-degree angle. If a team member performs incorrect conduct towards officials, opponents, teammates, or spectators, they are shown a yellow card as a warning. The The first rude conduct in the match by any team member is penalized with a point and service to the opponent. The referee signals this by showing a red card. The first physical attack or implied or threatened aggression, the second offensive conduct by a team member, or the third rude conduct is sanctioned by expulsion with no other consequences. The referee signals by showing red and yellow cards separately. The referee will be use this signal if a team commits to attain 25 or 15 points in a certain set. This signal indicates that both teams will be exchange their courts if the set is already ended and attain 8 points in the latter part of 5th set.